guys, and welcome back to Aaron's Thing. Today we're going to be taking a look at what is vibrato, how to do it on the saxophone, a definition of it, exercises you can do to get started with it, and how to do it. Actually, how to do it. So let's get started. Alright guys, welcome back to Aaron's Thing. Today, as I said before, we're going to be going over vibrato, what it is, when it was used, the roots of it, a definition, and how to do it, and good exercises that we are going to use in order to further our vibrato. So first, let's go over a definition of what vibrato is. In the book, In Search of Beauty in Music, not sure who wrote the book, I didn't do that much research. A good vibrato, it says, a good vibrato is a pulsation of pitch, usually accompanied by synchronous pulsations of loudness and timbre of such extent as to give a pleasing, flexible tenderness and richness to the tone. So I have everything written down on little note cards in case you're wondering, because I can't possibly remember all the research that I've done. So I have little note cards written down. So there's your definition of what vibrato is. It's a variation in pitch that makes the pitch undulate and makes the music sound pretty, essentially. Although vibrato is used in almost by everyone in the music community, it used to be quite controversial in the classic music standpoint for saxophone players to use. People used to hate saxophone players for using vibrato in a classical music standpoint. They thought it was very raunchy and it just didn't sound good. But people grew into it. Now, on the saxophone, it has its roots in early African American and jazz music. So, early jazz, really early jazz. And it developed over time into what we know today. Before learning it on saxophone, it only makes sense to learn the history and sounds of different vibrato use. So, you have several different uses of vibrato. You have a fast, wide sound. You have a fast, narrow sound. The same with a slow, narrow, and a slow, wide sound. And I'll give you a definition of what they sound like. I'll give you an example, not definition, of what they sound like. You also can go from a straight pitch to vibrato. I'll demonstrate that now. This is a straight pitch to vibrato. So as you can tell, the tone was la. So now we're going to do a fast, wide sound. I'll give you an example. Sorry, I made a little boo-boo in there. But it's very exaggerated. The wideness of it is... When I say wide, I mean exaggerated. You exaggerate your jaw to achieve that vibrato. Now, a slow, narrow sound is going to sound something like this. You could barely tell I was doing it, but you knew I was doing it. It was just enough. It wasn't over-exaggerated. It wasn't exaggerated at all. It was just enough that you knew that I was doing it. Now, I'm not going to go over all the sounds and different things, but a good way to see what vibrato could do for you and where you can add it in your music and how you want or what you want to achieve with it, a good way to do that is always listen to recordings of your favorite saxophone players to get a feel for what you're trying to achieve. Now, I stress that in almost every one of my tutorial videos, for tone, for everything, especially anything tone related like vibrato or just tone and intonation in general. I always stress, always listen to your favorite saxophone players. Try and find recordings on YouTube and try to play it by ear, or find music for it online. Go to Amazon, find music for it, and then listen to the actual song played by that person and play along with them. Always play along with them. Like right now, I'm looking at pieces by Warren Hill, like Hey Jude, a very complicated piece that I've been trying to break down for over a month now. It's very hard. Much of it is played in the altissimo register. There is 32nd note runs, 16th note runs. It's absolutely ridiculous, but I have been working on that piece for over a month, and I can play about halfway through it. So always find pieces that by players that you admire and try and play along with them in order to achieve what you're trying to achieve. Now, a good note is before you finish off this video and learn something completely new, it may be useless to you. And what I mean by that is if you haven't developed a strong, steady sound, you're not ready for vibrato at all. Don't try it. End of story. Cut this video off now and go develop your sound. Always get the sound that you want to achieve before you attempt to do anything advanced like vibrato. And the reason why is because if you have a crappy sound, vibrato is not going to do anything for you. It's not going to better your sound. It's just going to make it sound wobbly and like trash. So always develop your sound first. So if you haven't done that already, cut this video off, go home, take a nap, I don't care. Don't watch the rest of this video. At first, when you're trying to develop your vibrato, it's always good to exaggerate the movement. Now, I skipped over something. Vibrato is done by varying the pressure on the reed from the jaw or the bottom teeth. You could better explain by saying wah, 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 wah. That is what vibrato sounds like. And that's exactly what you have to do to achieve vibrato on the saxophone, is say wah, 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 wah while you're playing. Or at least go through the movements with your jaw. Now, a good exercise for this is to take your hand, place it underneath your chin, and exaggerate your jaw. You can even make the sound wah, 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 so you know what it feels like. Now, just saying, your throat position and your air should not fluctuate, just your chin. It is very important that your airstream stays steady and your throat position stays open. You don't want to close off your throat. That's not going to give you a very good sound. So, like I said, at first it's very good to exaggerate the movement. Gotta keep my computer on here so I got some light on me. It's very good to exaggerate the movement of your jaw. For example, we're going to play at 80 beats per minute, and or something along there. I'm not sure. I don't have a metronome on hand right now, but we're going to go to this. And I'm going to exaggerate it. Every time there's a beat, I'm going to pulsate. After you do that, that's what exaggeration sounds like. That's very exaggerated, as you can tell. I'm exaggerating so much. I'm actually hitting the lower register of the saxophone. So I'm going to try it on the lower register. I'm overcompensating for something. Don't know what yet. After you can do that, and you get that down, try it a little bit faster. Now speed it up even more. So, another tip is once you get the speed down, try backing off and going from wide to narrow. I'll try and go from wide to narrow, and then back off completely, and I'll show you what that sounds like. Back off very slowly, and you should be able to actually hear your airstream through the instrument. It should go. It should sound like you're slapping a rope in the wind or something. Ooh, pardon me. That is what it should sound like. Once you get that done, all you got to do is some little fine-tuning things, tone exercises with it, long tones, and you'll be good to go. It took over a year to develop it and get it to where I want it to be on saxophone. It may take you less, it may take you longer, depending on what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve. But always remember to practice along with those that you like, and long tones are key. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on our Facebook page, like, comment, and share with your friends. Get our name out into the music community. We're growing every day. We have over 50 likes already and several views on YouTube. Let's get at it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.